إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. I welcome all of you to our class of tonight, in which, inshallah ta'ala, we continue reading the explanation of Riyaadh al-Saaliheen. Selected, actually, we're not reading the whole ahadith, but selected narrations from selected chapters of Riyaadh al-Saaliheen, the explanation of our noble Shaykh al-Allama Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthaymin rahimahullah ta'ala. Before that, I would like to convey the salam and the greetings of our noble Shaykh al-Walid al-Allama Ubayd ibn Abdullah al-Jabiri hafidahullah ta'ala wa amaddahu bis-sahha wal-afiyah. Spoke with him this afternoon and he gave salam and asked about how things is, alhamdulillah. Likewise, I would like to convey the salam of our noble brothers spoke with today, Hassan al-Somali, Anwar Wright and Musa Richards. They say to convey the salam, and here I am, convey the greetings. Now, we continue inshallah ta'ala reading from this chapter, number 6, Babu at-Taqwa, the chapter that Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, he brought selected ayats and ahadith. He quoted some ayats from the Quran. As we finished, alhamdulillah, the explanation of those ayats, we move on tonight and we start with this hadith that is collected by Imam Muslim in his Sahih, and the second hadith in the chapter. عن أبي سعيد الخدري رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال إن الدنيا حلوة خضرة إن الدنيا حلوة خضرة وإن الله مستخلفكم فيها فينظر كيف تعملون فاتقوا الدنيا واتقوا النساء فإن أول فتنة بني إسرائيل كانت في النساء. رواه مسلم. The hadith that we're gonna, inshallah ta'ala, learn and study together from the explanation of our noble Shaykh Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthaymin rahimahullah ta'ala, on the authority of Abi Sa'id al-Khudri, this noble companion, Abi Sa'id al-Khudri radiyallahu anhu, who reported to us in that which is collected by Imam Muslim in his Sahih, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this dunya, this life of this world we live in, is sweet and green. Is sweet and green. Allah makes you generations succeeding one another so that He subhanahu wa ta'ala may try you in respect of your actions, to see how you're going to act in this life. So beware, he says, the Prophet said, so beware of the taqud dunya, beware of the luxury of this dunya and being taken away by it. And beware of women. For indeed the first trial of Banu Israel was through women. قال الشيخ ابن عثيمين رحمه الله هذا الحديث ساقه المؤلف لما فيه من أمر النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بالتقوى بعد أن ذكر حال الدنيا فقال إن الدنيا حلوة خضرة. Shaykh ibn Uthaymin, one of the great scholars of our time, he died some 18 years ago, 17, 18 years ago, rahimahullah. He's one of the great scholars of our time. He says in the explanation of this hadith, because he has explained Riyaadh al-Saaliheen and many other books, alhamdulillah, he has left behind a great treasury, alhamdulillah. May Allah put that and accept that from him on Yawm al-Qiyamah and put it in his scales of good deeds and allow us to continue to benefit from. He says that the An-Nawawi rahimahullah brought this hadith, selected this hadith, because it contains a command, an order from the Prophet ﷺ with the taqwa. فَاتَّقُوا. He said because it is a command, it contains a command, an order from the Prophet ﷺ with taqwa. After he mentioned and described to us some of the affairs of this dunya. Prophet ﷺ tells us something about this dunya, and then he says, fear this dunya. The Prophet ﷺ, he says, the life of this world, and remind you that we will live in, me and you, he said, is sweet and green. حلوة خضرة. إن الدنيا حلوة خضرة. That this life of this world is sweet and green. قال حلوة في المذاق خضرة في المرأة. The Shaykh al-Uthaymeen, he explained, he says it is sweet in a taste. It tastes sweet and it looks green. قال والشيء إذا كان خضرا حلوا فإن العين تطلبه أولا ثم تطلبه النفس ثانيا. He says anything that if it's green and sweet, the eye longs for it, wants it first, and therefore the soul tag along and wants it and follows on that. والشيء إذا اجتمع فيه طلب العين وطلب النفس فإنه يوشك الإنسان يقع فيه. He said anything that you find that both the eye of a person and his soul are interested in, he will be soon and be liable to fall into it. أين. قال فالدنيا حلوة في مذاقها خضرة في مرآها فيغتر الإنسان بها وينهمك فيها ويجعلها أكبر همه. Sheikh said this life we live in, it's sweet. Have a lot of good things that we like. Khadira, green, meaning beautiful. There are a lot of beautiful things in it that the people enjoy looking at. So therefore a person is deceived. Many people are deceived by it and make it their target and their purpose. And so therefore they preoccupy themselves with it and become their main concern and their main purpose. Akbar hammihi. So that's all. It's like he's created for this life. He wants to get everything of it and most of it or all of it. All what is about the dunya, a person even forget about the akhirah, thinking about the hereafter. ولكن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بين أن الله تعالى مستخلفنا فيها فينظر كيف نعمل. He said, but in this hadith, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم made clear to us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He make us with a human being, generations that succeed one another in this life as a trial in relate to our actions, what we're going to do. Every one of us have a lifespan. Some are different than others. Only Allah knows how each and every one of us will spend in this life. Some spend 100 years, some spend 70, some spend less, and the like. Some spend 40, some they die when they were very young, teenagers, just graduated, just been accepted, I don't know where, just get the first job, get the first paycheck, didn't even cash it yet. He's gone. Babies they die in early ages. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests us to see how we're going to act, هل تقومون بطاعته وتنهون النفس عن الهوى وتقومون بما أوجب الله عليكم ولا تغتروا بالدنيا أو أن الأمر بالعكس. Shaykh al-Majariyyah, he says, this is what he means. Allah want to see how we're going to act. Are we going to be obedient to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala? And we're going to be obedient servants. Because Allah created us for what reason? Why Allah created us? To build mountains? Did Allah create us to feed the fish in the water? Did Allah create us to feed the birds? Why did Allah create us, Ahmed? To worship Him alone. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will see, are we going to be obedient to Him? Are we subduing ourselves, our nafs, our desires? That's every one of us have a fight. Within yourself, your desires, your lusts, your nafs. Fight with the shaitan, his temptations, the environments, the surroundings where you live, the plotting of the enemies. There's many fights we are fighting, but who is paying attention to those fights? Shaitans keep inviting you to evil. The nafs wants everything it sees and hears of. Maybe the environment you live in doesn't even help at all. People, you live in an environment where everything is halal. The halal is haram and the haram is halal. Just be certain age. Just be this age and it's halal. So that much so that those who are not in that age, it's like, oh, they be counting. You still have 2 months. Still have this. Still have 2 days. Still have that. But it's about subduing oneself and acting upon that which Allah has made obligatory upon us. And we should not be deceived by the dunya. Or is it the opposite? The Shaykh has said that's happening. Are we trying to be obedient to Allah, exerting efforts, mujahada, persevering, and fighting our desires and our lusts, acting upon what Allah has made obligatory upon us? Or are we deceived by this dunya? وَلِهَذَا قَالَ فَاتَّقُوا الدُّنْيَا. After the Prophet ﷺ described this dunya, that it is sweet and it is green, is desirable, the nafs wants it. Whatever you see out there, you want it. You want a piece of it. It's like a nice cake. But are you going to say, okay, just give me a piece? Or are you going to say, no, I can't deal with that? Nope. Like in food, for example. We Muslims, we don't eat any food. If somebody handed you some pork, would you eat because it looks good? It may look good. It looks like chicken, nice, cooked. But then he says, no, man, that's haram for me. I can't eat no pork. We go to the beverages, the drinks, especially those who used to drink before. Those who never drink beer and never drink, well, alhamdulillah, wine, they don't know. They just, haram. But now those who used to drink, they know how it tastes. And Allah save them and protect them. Now if they go and visit their family members and they handle them that, whatever it is, I'm not even going to say no names, okay? So what are you going to say? One beer ain't going to make no change. Or he's going to say, la. No, it's not okay. I'm Muslim. The same thing. As related to the obligations, as related to the prohibitions, as related to other things. After the Prophet ﷺ described to us the reality of the dunya, he says, so fear this dunya. Taqud dunya. How you understand this? قال أي قوموا بما أمركم به الله سبحانه وتعالى واتركوا ما نهاكم عنه ولا تغرنكم حلاوة الدنيا ونضرتها. نعم. He said, meaning, how are you gonna be cautious and be careful as relate to not falling behind the dunya and running after it and longing for it? He says, by acting upon that which Allah has ordered you and staying away from the prohibitions. And that this dunya should not deceive you. And you should not be deceived by its sweetness and its beauty. Should not be deceived in a way that it leads you to haram. Now, fulfilling one's desires for means that are permissible, that's permissible in Islam. But it should not lead anything beautiful is for you. Now you're going to see if it's for you or it's not for you. So if it's not for you, then you got to know you have a fight now. You have something to stand for. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in Surah Luqman, ayah 33, فَلَا تَغُرَّنَّكُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا وَلَا يَغُرَّنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغَرُورِ. Let not this life of this world deceive you. And let not the shaitan, the chief of deceivers, the shaitan, the enemy, deceive you neither. ثم قال يعني الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم فاتقوا الدنيا واتقوا النساء. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he says, have the taqwa as relate to the dunya and have the taqwa as relate to women. You're gonna have protection. You gotta protect yourself from the dunya and protect yourself from nisa, from women. Two things. Because taqwa is to protect yourself. تأخذ وقاية. You have a shield and something that protects you from the danger. That's taqwa. So here, to protect yourself from the evil of the dunya and from women. اتقوا النساء أي يحذروهن. Said beware of women. وهذا يشمل الحذر من المرأة في كيدها مع زوجها ويشمل أيضا الحذر من النساء وفتنتهن. ولهذا قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فإن أول فتنة بني إسرائيل كانت في النساء. The Shaykh says you beware of women in general, including the fitna of the women, even when a man is married. Because it's a fitna for you, it's a trial for you. So, but as long as a person does what Allah legislated, being sincere and turn to Allah and ask Allah, inshallah that marriage will be a good. And especially our brother just got married today. This may be good for you, inshallah. Now, but in general, a person should be aware of this big fitna of women. Some men, they think, being around a woman is okay. It's not a problem. Now, it is a big problem, being around a woman that is not mahram for you. Especially for teenagers. Especially for young brothers who are not married yet. This doesn't exclude the elders, but it's, for the young ones is more fitna. Because it leads to a lot of problems. Prophet ﷺ, he says the first fitna and the trial that occurs amongst Bani Israel was in a woman, relate to women. So we learn from here that a woman that she's not mahram for you, you got to stay away from. Keep your distance. Don't be talking to, if a person, for example, even including women who are close to you, your cousins, female cousins. If it's not mahram for you, you don't talk to them, you don't chat with them, they don't. But now it's different. Men, they just have on Facebooks. Women, no problem. They just keep adding. Why are you adding those women? Who are they? She's not your sister. She's not your mother. She's not your wife. Why are you adding trouble? Why are you opening trouble? Usually people in the winter, like we're in the winter right now, and it's very cold. Well, alhamdulillah. Do people open windows in their homes? In a car, do people open the windows? What is the first thing they do when, if they see breeze in the car? What do they say? Your father, what do he say? Abdul Rahman, what he may say? No? Huh? Roll up the window. He's not going to say, roll up the window. Roll up the window. So be firm. Likewise, the heat is on 85. It's only supposed to be on 85. I think 70 is more than good. It's 72, right? But let's say it's on 85, but it's still cold. What does that tell you, Hassan? You're not Hassan. Change your name, you're going to do aqiqah. No, you don't have to. Now, Hassan, what does it mean? The heat is on 85, it's blowing, but it's cold in the house. It is working. No. Yeah. Go ahead. Plan B, Hassan. Some windows are open. So when we go through troubles, we are opening some windows that we have no business to open. That's what happened. That young man, worse if he's married, and he has Facebook, and he adds women that they are not his mahram, he's looking for trouble. And he shouldn't be playing like that. You want to add women on Facebook? Should be your mother, your sisters, not sisters in Islam. Your blood sisters from your father and mother or half sisters, your aunties, not your cousins. Because shaitan gonna play with your mind. Okay? Same thing on the phones and everything. In the jobs, at school. But people, they're cool. They think like the one who talk to any woman, that's a cool person. He's cool? That's not cool. That's trouble. So you should stay away from those women. Unless if you have to talk to them, then you have to learn the etiquette of talking to non-mahram women. Because we human, we live amongst others. Sometimes you may have to talk to a woman that is not mahram to you. But that's another thing we have to learn the etiquette. Can we give them the salam or we don't give them the salam? If we give the salam, how we give it? What is allowed for us to talk about or not? Naam, this is the etiquettes. فاتقوا النساء. قال الشيخ ابن عثيمين بنو إسرائيل افتتنوا في النساء فضلوا وأضلوا والعياذ بالله. He says, Banu Israel, as the Prophet ﷺ tells us, their fitnah was in women. So they went astray and caused many others to go astray. لذلك نجد أعداءنا وأعداء ديننا أعداء شريعة الله عز وجل يركزون اليوم على مسألة النساء. This is very important what the Shaykh is saying right now. قال لذلك نجد أعداءنا وأعداء ديننا أعداء شريعة الله عز وجل يركزون اليوم على مسألة المرأة النساء وتبرجهن واختلاطهن بالرجال ومشاركتهن للرجال في الأعمال حتى يصبح الناس كأنهم الحمير لا يهمهم إلا بطونهم وفروجهم والعياذ بالله وتصبح النساء كأنهن دمى أي صور لا يهتم الناس إلا بشكل المرأة رحمه الله. Shaykh Ibn Uthaymin رحمه الله, he says, look now, the enemies, he said, our enemies, the enemies of our religion, the enemies of the Sharia of Allah, they focus these days on the woman, the Muslim woman. They try their best to get the woman out of chastity, out of modesty, out of the deen. That's why they call in themselves, that the Sheikh is going to explain later on, them, and they have helpers within the Muslim society, calling that the woman, it's okay, woman to mix in schools, in jobs. No? So much so, he says that people, they become like donkeys, animals. Some people, some men, because of the impact of this hamla, these waves, and this war that is waged on the Muslims. So much so that you find some men, they become like donkeys. All what matters to them is to fill their bellies and to fulfill their sexual desires. So much so that they want the women, and some women, they actually fall into that tricks and trap of shaitan. They look like dolls. You know dolls that the little girls play with? That's all they want, to look like that. Men will look at a woman and don't care about nothing except by the way she look. That's all they will look. Now the woman, the way she look. كيف يزينونها وكيف يجملونها وكيف يأتون لها بالمجملات والمحسنات وما يتعلق بالشعر وما يتعلق بالجلد ونتف الشعر والساق والذراع والوجه وكل شيء حتى يجعل أكبر هم النساء أن تكون المرأة كالصورة من البلاستيك لا يهمها عبادة ولا يهمها أولاد. Yeah, subhanallah. The Sheikh is talking about this like 30, maybe 40 years ago when he did this. What about the Sheikh, if he knows what's going on in our times? We ask Allah to protect us and protect the Muslim women from the plots of the enemies of Islam, the Jews and al-A'da and the Ilmaniyun and all of those enemies of Islam, because they know if the woman is corrupt, the society is gone. If the woman is corrupt, the family is corrupt. And if the family is corrupt, now you have weak bricks in your building, what's going to happen? You got a weak building. It may collapse. And even if it doesn't collapse, it's weak. So he said, now, what they call into? Now, the woman, she has to look good. She's a beautiful creature. She's that. And she has to look good where? Not for her husband. She has to look good in her work. The one that she's married, inside her house, oh man, I don't know what she has in her head. She put in stuff that doesn't smell right, the way she look, but then she's going to go to work now. This is a woman that go to work. Monday morning, she get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, spend 2 hours in the bathroom. She may come out the bathroom, her husband says like somebody break in. Doesn't look like his wife, the woman that he spent the weekend with. Now she beautified herself and all of that, and the way she put her hair and her face is different, the clothing is different, everything is different. The attitude is different. Why? She's going to work. Nas'Allah salam al-afiyah, which is not permissible in Islam. It's not permissible for women to beautify themselves and put makeup and go to work or to school. Especially those women who do not put the hijab, the proper hijab. So now the enemies, they know that, look, one of the ways to destroy the Muslim societies, if they can destroy and corrupt the woman. If they can corrupt the Muslim women, anything else, it's piece of cake, like they say. But the focus is on the women. How they can make her look out there beautiful and beautify herself, so much so that the way that they do their hair, some women, they do put fake hair on their hairs. They dye their hair and don't cover it, by the way, and they go to school like that, and they go to work like that, they go to shop like that. No khimar, nothing. Tight clothing, Some of them, they even do go worse than that. They fall into other major sins and prohibitions. They accumulate many, many violations. Live in the house without a khimar, that's one. Without proper hijab. Putting on makeup and the hair and this, that's another violation. Shaving the eyebrows and put another one with the, what do you call it? That's a marker? Permanent? I hope it's not a permanent marker. I don't know what it is. Is it a marker or is it something else? Oh, you don't know, just like me, huh? Something else. What is it? Mascara pen. But it is mascara for the eyes too, right? That's in Arabic, we call it maskhara. Maskhara. Maskhara in Arabic is like someone who make a fool of himself. Maskhara. Like mascara is maskhara. It's like Halloween. We call it Halloween. Hey now. Yeah. Now you find some Muslim women, they say they're Muslims. They go, they shave their eyebrows and put that mascara. Maskhara. Because, like they say, right? Monkey see, monkey do. They just look in because those kuffar, they've been put into them, those magazines. Huh? Look at these women, they look beautiful, they make a lot of money. Shaitan make them look beautiful. Look, they go to work. If you don't look like them, you're not going to get a job. You see? They tell them, if you don't go like as they want to see you, you're not going to get a job. This, that, this. Nobody wants you in the society. You're nobody. See? They put this poison in the minds of the teenage girls. But they need to learn Aqidah. To know that whatever the enemies of Islam says, they are wrong because they just want to destroy us. How are you going to take advice from your enemies? Can you imagine two armies are fighting and they're really into it, and then they receive a letter from the enemy say, hey, this is the tactics you may supposed to follow. You think they're going to follow it? They're not going to follow. So how some of us will follow the tactics and the plans of the shaitan, who is the open enemy, and the plans of the enemies of Islam, who wants to destroy us? As Sheikh said, now women, the things they do with their hairs and the things they, so much so that the women, they became like a plastic. You know, like an object in plastic, and you can do whatever you want to do with it. She's not interested in no ibadah, no children. So much so you find women, they're like, no, she ain't getting married now. Why? She ain't getting married now. She may have children. She don't want to have children. She want to live her life. When she going to get children? 36 years old, 40 maybe. Because that's what they hear. That's the poison they hear in those soap operas. You know, days of their lives or whatever. Right? That's an old one. I don't know if he's still around. But I'm an old version, right? And I don't know. In some Muslim countries, they have Turkish soap operas from Mexico. From Mexico. And they are translated in Arabic. Not only like subtitles, actually, somebody is there, I don't know how they call it, but they talking, those people, but then somebody that speak Arabic speak on their behalf. In the dialects, interpreters, not even in the Fusha, in dialects. This country, they speak these dialects, they hear it. So everybody, they want to get everybody. Those old women who don't know no Fusha, they need to understand what Guadalupe is saying. Subhanallah. You know. So that he become talking. They be talking about that movie, the soap operas. Soap operas, what? I'm saying it right? Because they go for 350 episodes. 350 episodes? Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. And they be waiting because they give them one episode a week or 2 a week. They be waiting for the whole week. They analyzing and talking about what's going to happen to her, what's going to happen to him. You think she's going to give him a chance. You think he's going to come back. A'udhu billah. All week. They want to look like her now. They want to dress like her. They want to eat the way she eat, the way she sleep, the way she talk, the way she sit. Yes. And they've been successful. You see those soap operas and those movies and those channels now, those dish that they put out there in the Muslim lands. You see. So much so you go to some of the Muslim lands, you think you're like, where am I? Manhattan? You go and I don't even advise you to go in the summer in the beaches in some Muslim countries. Don't even go. Don't you say, oh, mashallah, Muslim country, Allah Akbar, we're going to the beach. Don't. Unless if you know some deserted beach that some Salafi brothers, they know. Some of them are, alhamdulillah. I've been to some of them, but you have to drive a couple hours and then you're just by yourself. But some people, they don't want to be by themselves. They want to be seen. They've been working out all year so they can, other people see them. They want to keep up with the Joneses. You think it's happening only here? No, the enemies of Islam, they want to make sure that it's happening in the Muslim lands. Illa man rahim Allah. And you see the way they act, you be like, subhanallah, these are Muslims? And if you ask them Muslim, yes, I'm a Muslim. Dare you ask me that question? Astaghfirullah. Subhanallah. The enemies of Islam. So she don't want to care about no ibadah. Tell her get up and pray Fajr. Yeah, right. But if the movie or soap operas at 3 o'clock in the morning, she's going to set the alarm or stay up until she watch that. Get married now. You're a teenager, mashallah. You're 18, 19. Inshallah, we'll find you a good brother. What? Tripping? Nah, that's not her. Nah, why you want to confine me to an apartment with some men? So look at that. They start thinking like that. She's going to go to college and she's going to start her life on her terms. Not on what Allah wants for her. Yeah, subhanAllah. Because of those evil impact and evil and deadly sometimes influence of the media. And they do it on purpose. I know. قال ثم إن أعداءنا أعداء دين الله وشريعته وأعداء الحياة يريدون أن يقحموا المرأة في وظائف الرجال حتى يضيقوا على الرجال الخناق ويجعلوا الشباب يتسكعون في الأسواق ليس لهم شغل ويحصل من فراغهم هذا شر كبير وفتنة عظيمة لأن الشباب والفراغ من أعظم المفاسد كما قيل إن الشباب والفراغ والجدة مفسدة المرء أي مفسدة. Then the Shaykh mentioned another point. He said the enemies, our enemies, the enemies of Islam, the enemies of the deen of Allah and His legislation, and they are the enemies of this life. They don't want the life to be normal. That the woman do what she's created for to do and the man do what he's created for to do and everyone play his role in life and help each other and maintain each other and la. They want now also, and they've been doing this, and they get the women to leave the house. Gotta get a jobs. Any jobs? No. Target the jobs of the men. Go get those men jobs. So much so, women now get into jobs, and especially if they are not properly dressed, and she come with makeup, and this and that. Of course, if a weak person who's full of desire, manager or supervisor, who he wants with him in the office? He want no man. He want a woman, even a couple of women. He's going to find some way and arrange to open another job for another woman. And they like, no, women, they good in the office. Women, they nice. Women, they easy to work with. Women, they nice. Women, they cool. Yes, all that stuff. Muslim women shouldn't fall for that. Women, they easy. They don't give you no hard time. Men, they don't give you no hard time too, unless you see it that way. Women, they don't ask for raise? They will, sure. That's what they say too. They say, oh, women, you can give them anything, this, that, stuff like that. So much so that now you find many men, now we're talking about in Muslim countries, you find the youth don't have work. A lot of women, they have work. A lot of men don't have work. So now what happened? What happened? You find in a family, like the family of 8, father and mother, 2 girls, 4 boys. The 2 girls go to work, the 4 boys go to the coffee shop. Watch sports. Why? They can't find job. They go apply for jobs. Oh, we're sorry, we're not hiring. His sister apply. She start working. They put an apron on her. Ad-Din. So that the men, especially the youth, they have no job, they have no money, they can't start no family, so they wander in the streets and the coffee places and shops and the malls with no money, which lead them to a lot of evil. Said because the Shaykh says it leads to big fitna, a great fitna. Teenagers that are broke have no money, but women have money. Women have paid checks and drive cars, but the men don't. SubhanAllah. As one of the poets says, being young, not occupied with anything, and what do you think this is going to do? And have no money, nothing. It brings to a lot of evil. قال فهم يقحمون النساء الآن بالوظائف الرجالية ويدعون الشباب ليفسد الشباب وليفسد النساء. أتدرون ماذا يحدث? The Shaykh says now the enemies of Islam, and they are supported by enemies of their own religion, as the Shaykh is going to mention later on. People within the society. Not just Jews, Christian, Kuffar, communists. No, you find those who they say they're Muslims and this, and they call into the same thing, pushing this nasty, stinky agenda. Women got to go to work. What about men? Well, men asking for a lot. Women got to go to work. Women do a better job. Women this, women that. Women are productive. Women are creative. Women are fitnah. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. It's like the LA Fitnah and the, what is the other one? Planet Fitnah and all that, right? You know that. They call it Planet Fitness. But if you go there and start, there's nothing but fitnah for me. I know. The Shaykh says now they want the women to go and get her jobs, men jobs. And they don't give the jobs to those boys. And what is the result? They corrupt both. Men are corrupt and women are corrupt. He said, you know why this is happening? Al-Jawab, the Shaykh said, the answer, يحدث مفسدة الاختلاط. You know what's going to happen when women go to work? He said, يحدث مفسدة الاختلاط. Look, here is the evil consequences when women go to work in the arenas of men. And by the way, the ulama of Islam, Sheikh bin Baz, Albani, Uthaymin, Fawzan, Rabi', Luhaydan, Al-Najmi, Muqbil, the ulama of Ahlul Sunnah, Sheikh Ubaid, Sheikh Muhammad Hadi, and many others, they have a lot of fatawas. Some of them have written some booklets about this. I think Sheikh Ibn Baz rahmatullah has one. The rulings of, or the evil actually, of a woman working in a man's arena and the like. So what is the evil consequence of that? Number one, mixing, intermingling. Woman working with men in the same office, in the same building, every day, spending 8 hours. She may not spend even half of that with her husband. Her husband does not have that time with her. But a stranger from I don't know where, man, from South America, from India, I don't know where you're from, can talk to her all day. Can be with her and can have lunch with her. Because they have cafeterias in there, they have places, they go places. Especially if the woman, she's high, she has a high position now. She got to have meetings and orientations and what else? Those brother, help me here. Huh? Trainings, workshops. Postal. What is it? Customer service. Customer. Customer service. Now, أحسنت. Yeah, and also trips. Allah musta'an. Now she has to travel, and especially if she doesn't have the aqidah, she doesn't know her religion. She's just a Muslim because her name is a Muslim name. She has a Muslim name, or she was born in a Muslim country, and that's it. She thinks that's enough. She even go and be in a hotel by herself. Travel by herself. I was like, look, man, that's the best job because every month she's in another country, in another state. That's fitan. Big fitan and trials. وَمَفْسَدَةِ الزِّنَا وَالْفَاحِشَةِ. Likewise, the evil consequence of mixing is the zina, the fornication that takes place. سواء في زنا العين أو زنا اللسان أو زنا اليد أو الفرج كل ذلك محتمل إذا كانت المرأة مع الرجل في الوظيفة. He says the zina, of course, the fornication of the eye first, of the tongue, the way they be talking to each other and this, because now she worked there. They tell her how to talk to others and how she put a smile on her face and how she has to. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. You see? The hand, now she got to shake hands now. And it may lead to some evil connections and evil haram relationships. It does happen before. He said, the Sheikh said, this is what may take place once he put men and women mixing in one place, in one area. قال وما أكثر الفساد في البلاد التي يتوظف الرجال فيها مع النساء. The Sheikh said, a lot of evil results in those countries that they have men and women working in the same arena. A lot of evil. ثم إن المرأة إذا وظفت فإنها سوف تنعزل عن بيتها وعن زوجها وتصبح الأسرة متفككة. Then the Sheikh said many evil. He said, and beside the point, when a woman leaves her house and go to work, who's going to take care of the family? Especially if she has children, little children. She has 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or more or less. And they little ones. She has to go to work. Who's going to take care of them? They don't care, right? Huh? Where's she going to put her kids? She got 3 months baby and 18 months. And she has to go to work. And she get up. They got 3 months getting up. 18 months, get up. 5 o'clock in the morning, he has to get up too. Get up. Put your clothing on. Taking them where? That don't care. I know, don't care center. Because who will care about your children? They call it daycare. But you think anyone going to care about your children more than you do? Who's going to care about that baby more than his own mother? But if the mother obviously doesn't care, she going to blame the daycare if they don't care? Okay. So the women go to work, children go to the daycare. Worse, if they cannot afford daycare, what are they going to do? Leave them with the neighbors. Or leave them with your grandma. Grandma was on some stuff, some weed and stuff. TV, all right? All time. 3 dogs in the house. A lot of crazy things. But the woman, she's imra'a mutaharrira. She's a free woman. Nobody tell her what. You see? Now she's going to come at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Where's my baby? No, is your baby? He's not your baby. There's a lot to say, but we're going to leave it for the next Sunday, inshaAllah ta'ala. A lot of amazing things that the Shaykh is bringing. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our women, to protect us all from the fitna of women, but especially the Muslim women. May Allah protect them from this evil and keep them firm upon the deen. وصلى الله وسلم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما.